Hey guys, what's up, what's up, what's up? You already know who this is. This your girl, Queen Wasp, aka Queen Bee. Anyway, guys, tonight, me comfy bonfire, me comfy bonfire. Yes, little bit of this and little bit of that. Now, let's start out with the most and the latest, and that is Maxine Anderson versus Miss Donna Go. Yes, let's touch base on that real quick. All right, guys. So first and foremost, it do definitely breaks my heart to see that they have to be going through this, and that's the truth. I'm always hoping one day Maxine and Donna would come to some kind of peaceful agreement where they could literally, at least, if not to be friends, at least able to be civil with each other. Yes, I would definitely have loved to have seen that. But the more and more, it goes on, I realize, maybe that's not going to be possible. But I'm still going to hold on to that hopes, right? In the meantime, in between time, some people may say, okay, well, if you so want them to get together and be peaceful and become friends, somewhat friends or whatever, then why are you, sharing these things on your platform or, sharing the court documents or whatever? Come on now, guys. Stop being hypocritical. Stop being hypocritical and stop being biased. At the end of the day, I am still a blogger. I still have a platform, and I still have my followers that I need to keep abreast of what's going on in social media. So it does not matter whether or not I would like to see peace between them. The bottom line, the information is out there, and I'm going to share it. Bottom line, nothing more to it. All right. So let's move on from that. Now, as you see, I explained on my page exactly what I see going on with the court documents, right? Maxine went and filed whatever complaint that she have and asking for monetary, returns or whatever. And it's now Donna's time to respond, right? She decided to have her lawyer respond instead of her, which is okay. That's what you have a lawyer for, right? They could represent you in court. You don't have to be the one to be there if you choose not to, because this is not a criminal case. This is a civil case, right? So that is exactly what her lawyer did. He responded back, and what he's saying is that all of the complaint is frivolous. He's pretty much saying that the complaint makes no sense. It's jumbled and mumbled, and it's all over the place. And because it's not clear cut of her showing in her complaint where Miss D actually owe her some money. And because it's not clear cut, he is asking the judge just to dismiss it altogether. Judge, just throw it out. It make no sense to us. We're not clear really and truly where, my client owe her any money. So just throw it out, right? Okay. It's not as simple as that, and if he's a good lawyer, he should have known it's not as simple of just throw out. It's a matter of, yes, you could request it, don't get me wrong now. You could request it to be dismissed, which is what the lawyer did, and he presented Miss D what you call an affidavit. Affidavit is just pretty much telling her side of the story in defense of herself, right? In her defense, she pretty much kind of, if you round it up or round it off, it kind of sound like, Maxine been stalking her for a minute now, and, Maxine been trying to shake her down for money for a while, and, when she wouldn't respond to her request, then she turned to social media and started to use social media to harass her, and, when that didn't work, and she didn't pay her any mind, she didn't answer, she didn't respond, and now Maxine now is allegedly now trying to use the court to harass her once again and to try to pretty much like get money out of her then, right? It's like Maxine is trying to use the courts to get the money that she couldn't have gotten when she was harassing her online. So that's the way, Miss D kind of rounded up. And she also went on to say she had proof of that. Now, when it comes down now to where the courts now refer to mitigation, and they have 60 days, according to what I understand, to make sure they set up some kind of mitigation between them. And that is just simply saying, hey, I want you guys to, take it to a third party. You guys sit around, talk about it, see if you could come up with some kind of agreement, and whatever agreement that you guys come up with, then both the lawyer and, well, right now Maxine is representing herself. So Maxine would have to draw something up of the whole agreement that they came up with, and both sides have to sign off on it to say, yes, I agree with this. And then they take it back to the courts, and then the courts looks it over, read it over, and then the court make it final. Now, if they go to mitigation and they go back and forth, and for some reason they've been in there for 2 and 3 hours and they talk about it, and they can't come up with an agreement, and each side doesn't like what the other side is offering or whatever, so now they didn't come up with no agreement, then it gets taken back to the courts for the court now to set a trial date, or a court date rather, right? And then they're gonna go to court. At that point now, each side gonna have to make sure they have all their ducks in order. All their I's have to be crossed. Their T's have to be crossed. Their I's have to be dotted at that point. Whatever evidence they have to prove their case, they're gonna have to bring it at that point. And Miss D have all her proof of where Maxine tried to get money out of her previously, and tried to been stalking her, and she have to bring all those hard proofs with her. Vice versa, same thing with Maxine. She's gonna have to bring all her proof of why Miss D owed her this money, and when was this money owed, and what for this money was owed for. You get my drift, right? Yeah, both sides have to now present their evidence. At the end of it all, the judge gonna finally look at all the evidence and come up with his conclusion, and he's gonna make a ruling, and his ruling is what now becomes permanent, right? Of course, at the end of every court decision, you always get the opportunity to what they call you could file like where they get someone to look over the case all over again. I forgot the term of it right now. It's slipping my head, but you guys know what it is, right? You could file, an appeal. That's what it is. You could file an appeal, right? Fine. When it comes down to the case itself in a whole, everyone on social media, I hear, is already making a decision, right? As if they're the judge and jury. And some is saying, the case has been dismissed. Some is saying, well, it hasn't been dismissed yet, but it will be dismissed because these are all frivolous charges and dumb whatever, and, it's just going to get thrown out and da-da-da. I mean, yeah, we could say all of that because it sounds good for the people that we love, and whoever side that you're on, it sounds good. But at the end of the day, we are not judge and jury. And you'd be surprised, things that sound frivolous to us is something that could be held up in court. You never know, right? So we don't know which way this is going to turn out. The only thing that we can do is just to pray for both of these ladies, and hoping that whatever the end of this going to be, it end in a peaceful manner. And once it's all done and said and over with, everyone could move on with their lives in a more peaceful and prosperous way. And that's the only thing that I could hope for this case, right? In the meantime, my peoples, I will continue to keep you posted. I will continue to keep you updated. Why? Because I am a blogger, and it's my job to bring you the latest, all right? Queen Wasp. speaking. All right, so let's move on now. So I want to get now to let's touch base on Lorraine and Michelle. So Lorraine and Michelle is kind of going down a road I was hoping they weren't going to go down, but it seemed like it can't be avoided, because it seemed as if, you know, Michelle is in her feelings whenever she hears certain things, especially coming from another particular blogger. She automatically ties Lorraine to that blogger and feel as if it's something going on behind the scene. Now, the only way Michelle probably could feel that way and paranoid in that way is because, to me, that's how probably Michelle been all along, always behind the scene with somebody, somewhere, some other blogger, you know, and so she's used to that environment of knowing how people could get behind the scene. When you think they're enemies and they're not speaking with each other, they're busy behind the scene having a good relationship and talking about certain things and certain individual. Now, Michelle seemed like that's what probably she's been doing for a minute. So she know that it can happen. So that's why she could be so paranoid to say that is what happening. And because of that, she comes out and she lashes out of Lorraine, especially tonight when I hear her come out. She didn't call Lorraine name per se, but we all know who she was talking about when she kept saying, you know, with that other particular blogger, you know, the K lady, yes, the K lady, you know, and saying something like, you know, the platform I used to be on, you and them is behind the scene, or, you know, you put a picture of my husband and, you know, only Lorraine had that picture or something like that, and it must. She kind of implied that maybe that's where the K lady got the picture from. So it kind of like trying to tie them together to say Lorraine and that individual is working together. Of course, Lorraine get a wind of it, and of course, Lorraine is going to come out, you know, like a bulldog. And like a bulldog, she did, right? And she came out and said what she had to say and blah, 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 blah. All right? Who knows how far this is going to go? I don't know. I don't know if Michelle's going to come back out and respond, but if she does, I guess, guys, we're just going to have to look out for another showdown. And all you platform holders, you're going to have some more content for the next day or two, so look out for that, right? They give us content, we're going to take it, right? Right. All right, so let's move on now. So we're going to move on now to, let's talk about the M lady, right? The one with the potty mouth. The one with the potty mouth. Yes, the one with the potty mouth. All right. So lately, she finally came out and she admit that she lives with her family member, right? And remember now, guys, she don't understand that every time she's caught in a lie, or every time her lies get exposed, it just make her look worse and worse and worse and worse. And it also make whatever the number man say about her is more and more and more in people's mind. They're starting to really and truly believe him now, because if everything that he say, eventually she comes out and admit to it after saying, no, me live into a luxury apartment, you guys can't live like me, you guys should see where I live. If you don't see where me live, on a drop down, yeah, we will drop down free true if we see where you live. But anyway, guys, right? You know, the golf club and the, you know, the nice sauna and the nice warm pool and, you know, this big rich life that she preached, that's where she was living, right? And all of a sudden now, you know, she finally admit where she lived, right? Because she got exposed. Like, come on, like, how, like, you just, I mean, I like, sometimes I'm just lost for words. Honestly, I am totally lost for words, right? Because every single time she does the same exact thing over and over and over, and she get busted every time in the lie, and she goes right back and do the same exact thing again, right? Her audience cannot say anything to her about it, and as soon as she get in a jam, then all of a sudden she's a victim. Boo hoo hoo, cry cry cry, and she's the victim, and everybody's taking advantage of her, right? But then she come back and she repeat the cycle all over again. Why? People, why? When she was working at Harry, before she got the job with Harry, she stated that she got her nice, good up apartment, that her man was going to, I guess, oversee it for her while she's at work, right? Nice luxury apartment. That never came to fruition. Then she's gonna, in other words, guys, just listen to this lady. Like, seriously, like, oh my God, the lies. And then whenever she get caught in these lies, then all of a sudden, oh, I mean, just like going to content. Oh, me can't say anything I want to tell me mouth. I'm making a run with it. Oh, Lord Jesus Christ, like, grow the F up. Just grow up. You're sickening. Oh, Lord. Anyway, guys, listen. There's a few more points that I could touch on, but I'm not going to make this video too long. Overall, guys, social media right now is kind of heating up. I have something my own self that I'm going to be coming out with soon. Just give me some time to wrap it up. It's not completely wrapped up as yet. As soon as it's wrapped up, I myself will come and break the news myself. No one has to do it for me. All right. Anyway, guys, you have a wonderful day, evening, afternoon, morning, any part of the world you're in today. Queen Wasp come, Queen Wasp spoke, and Queen Wasp is out.